another episode of Hyper Heroes here on Hyper RPG. Pooch is not trained for this show.
No.
He doesn't know how we like roll into this thing. He's like, so what kind of phone you rocking over
Yeah, I
there?
like to keep it loose. Keep it
loose,
live.
baby.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah,
it
yeah,
loose.
yeah, yeah.
Guys,
right,
Alex
right.
Puccinelli. Pooch is here. Pooch is in the house. Hector is not here. He is in New Orleans. He's doing a set visit for a show that we can't talk about.
Yeah.
At least I don't know if we can, but I won't.
Let's not. Say
I don't
it.
want to spoil
Wraps.
it. Keep it under wraps.
It's not our place.
Cover it up.
But yeah, thank you so much for being here, bud. It's been a while since we've had you on.
It has.
Minus the trailer reaction that we just shot.
Oh
Yeah.
God, I'm still. I've noticed I've been talking really fast.
Yeah.
No,
tonight.
that's good.
It
And
happens.
It's because
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited. To have watched the trailer with you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
And to just hang out.
Just hang
I
out,
love
baby.
being here. It's one of my all-time favorite things in the world.
Yeah.
We love
I'm not
having you, man.
I'm not mad that I haven't been here in a couple months.
I don't remember
at
the last
all.
time you were
Not
here.
mad at all about it. I just,
Yeah,
you guys
you
can call
just-
me anytime.
I'm just
so
fuming all the
just
time.
furious
Yeah.
because I have no life and I want to be here.
You do have a life. You're a huge influencer.
Such a huge
You're
influence.
such a
So
huge
huge.
influencer.
So
I've seen your Instagram stories, you influencer.
You influence everybody
just
to do
trying-
everything.
I'm just trying to.
I know,
I
I
just
know.
want people to be happy and
I
live,
know.
live a
That's
happy
right.
life and have
yeah,
fun.
and be influenced.
Be influenced.
How's Donnie
Yeah.
Ferrari doing?
Donnie's doing good. He's busy. Christmas time is super busy for
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Just because everybody's trying to get rid of those holiday pounds.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Donnie's super busy. Probably going to make an appearance on my Instagram.
He's got a
soon.
lot
Nice.
of carbs to fight.
He's got a
Oh,
lot of
absolutely.
carbs to fight. I mean, this
He's
is
got
the
some breads to beat.
Yeah.
Tis the season to be carby.
To be carby. Yes, exactly.
Yum 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 yum
Yeah.
yum 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 yum. Yes.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
he's
That's
fighting.
how the traditional
That's
Christmas
an old
song goes.
school
Yeah.
Christmas song. That's
Yeah.
it.
Is Donnie Ferrari embracing the Mark Wahlberg schedule, the 2:30 a.m. wake-up call?
Here's the thing about Donnie Ferrari. Mark Wahlberg's pretty average in his book.
Oh, big word from
Inspired
Donnie
to be
Ferrari.
better. 4:30 a.m. workout call. That's very average.
That's like
And
ho-hum.
and childish. That's child's play, as Donnie Ferrari would say.
That's like when babies wake up to
That's
work.
right. That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's like 4:30. Why not 3:30?
I know.
Why go to sleep at all? Donnie
Why
would say.
sleep?
Why
Just
not
stay up for
2:30?
an entire
So
week.
you'll be seeing some Donnie on my Instagram.
Nice.
I'm gonna meet up with him next week, and
Right
we're
on.
Cool.
probably gonna
Tell him we said
shoot-
hi.
I will for sure. Yeah,
Tell
and
the
he
Ferrari
wants,
we
you
said
know,
what's up.
he's ready to train.
Yeah,
work out
he's
with you
ready to
guys.
train.
He
Oh,
wants
yeah?
to
Oh, yeah?
collaborate.
I
He's gonna
think
throw some
I-
bread at us.
He's gonna throw some bread at you. Anything. He's gonna throw some turkey
Some
legs.
turkey legs.
Yeah.
I'll
some
catch
great-
the
some-
turkey legs,
Some ham hocks.
but the gross, I'll block
Yeah, you gotta
block the bread.
Block the breads,
Fire-
embrace the turkey legs.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, it's
Absolutely.
gonna be the best. It's gonna be the best. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We this is a really weird episode to do after like a huge trailer, like Avengers
Yes.
Endgame
'Cause
drops.
that's all I want to
because
talk about.
that's all I want to spend an hour just trying to break down and talk about this trailer.
And
But there
we
was
can.
there was some stuff that broke throughout the week that we're gonna talk about. But it's so different. I just want to talk about it.
I know.
I
I
originally
know.
thought when you guys asked me to come on,
Yeah.
for some reason I thought we'll do this first and then watch a trailer. And I was gonna be like, hey guys, I'm gonna be sleeping for the entire episode and then wake me up for the trailer.
No, we talked about it.
yeah.
And we were
Glad.
like, we can't do the episode without being able
Yeah.
to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, to
So,
at least
yeah.
reference it, because at that point it becomes too stressful because you're
Exactly.
like, people are walking in and around, they're walking around,
right,
people seeing the
right.
trailer, we're doing a show for an hour, and it's like,
yeah.
in that 60-minute time frame, anyone could spoil anything,
Exactly. Yes.
including the dogs.
We just, especially the
Especially the dogs, right, Ninja?
They're yappers.
I'm looking.
Yappers.
They're yappy.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at you.
I'm also super excited because as we're watching this, I am seeing 2 screenings today.
Ooh.
It's Saturday. I'm watching Bumblebee and I'm watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I didn't get
What?
accepted to either of those.
I'm a
Maybe.
huge
They're pla-
Transformers fan, and you don't invite me?
They're playing early at the AMC theaters.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, so this wasn't like.
This is, these are public screenings.
Oh,
okay.
okay,
I
okay.
thought that you got like the
No,
inside
no.
scoop.
I
and
thought it was
like,
our normal.
These are
inside
early
hook.
public
I was
screenings.
the one who saw the last night
Yeah.
Transformers.
I know.
So I
I
should be
know.
at this with you.
I know, but I'm super excited. Spider-Verse, Hector saw it. He loved it. It's his favorite Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to watch that. It's been nominated for a Golden Globe. We're going to talk about it
Yep.
for Best
wow.
Picture, for animation. And then Bumblebee looks like it's going to be a very good film as
Also
well.
nominated for a Golden Globe.
God, I wish. If it's that good,
is
I hope
it?
so.
No.
No.
So, so
Razzie.
Hector told me.
No.
No,
Don't say that,
I don't
Booch.
know.
Razzie? No. I'm hoping this movie's amazing.
No, I think
So,
I love it. I
so
wanna see
I'm
it.
really looking forward to Spider-Verse because last weekend Hector
Yeah.
saw it before we saw the Iron Giant, right?
Yes.
So we meet up with Hector. We watch The Iron Giant, which is probably one of the greatest animated movies
Tears
of all time. We were all crying, right?
But
then we get out of the theater, and I'm like, Hector, so Spider-Verse. He's like, it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. He's like, if you are going to go watch it, go watch Wreck-It Ralph first, because Spider-Man changes the game on everything. And I'm just like
animation-wise?
And not even that, but just like story-wise and just like visuals and just everything. He says that this movie's a game changer. And this is after we saw The Iron Giant, which is probably one of his favorite movies of all time.
If not the.
So to hear this coming from Hector, who's still like drying his tears away from the giant.
Mocos all over.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, this, I have to prepare myself for this, just because I'm such a huge animation nerd too.
Yeah, I feel super spoiled tomorrow. The fact that I'm going to get to see 2 movies that I have been wanting to see so
and that
bad.
look exceptional.
They look so good.
Yeah, they look really good.
I will say, and I think we'll probably end up talking about this on the very last episode of Hyperheroes that we do for the year. 2018 may possibly be like the best year for superhero movies, especially considering the volume.
Yeah.
Can we talk about, first of all, how long 2018's been?
I know.
Black Panther came out this year.
February.
No, that came out 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Black Panther came out 5 years ago. Hector and I were talking about this. I saw him last week, and he's like, Into the Spider-Verse is the best superhero movie of this year. It's better than Black Panther. And I was like, Hector, Black Panther. First of all, you're loco. Because Black Panther came out last year. He goes, no, it came out in February.
Yeah.
And we started going through the year, and I was like, wow, this was such a long year. He's like, it's the best
year, too.
He's like, it's better than Infinity War. It's better than Black Panther. This is the best superhero movie of the year. And I was like, wow.
Yep.
For real.
That's what I'm telling you, man.
Hector saying this with like a little like Christmas star in his eye. I'm like, it's got to be good.
I've never seen this light in his eye before.
And I will say, I watched Venom, and like, look, it's dumb. And it got a really low rating, but it did extremely well internationally, like gangbusters.
Yeah.
I watched and I was like, look, it's not the quality of like Black Panther, Infinity War, probably Spider-Verse, Aquaman, any of those movies. But if you just want like a ridiculously fun, ludicrous time at the movies, I had I laughed at so much of that movie, but like in a good way. I wasn't laughing at it. I was kind of laughing with it, even though I think the filmmakers were very aware of the movie that they were making. So I'm like, overall 2018, even Teen Titans Go to the Movies was great. Like, it's a very solid year. Incredibles 2 was amazing. Like, I don't know. In terms of volume, it was very solid. Like last year, we had some stinkers. The year before, we had some stinkers. I'm pretty impressed. And if like Bumblebee, Aquaman end up being as good as like people are saying, then from start to end, I'm like, damn,
it's just
solid. Really was nothing.
Solid
there was no bad superhero movie that came out this year in theaters.
Stepping their games up.
Yeah,
man.
Everybody's stepping.
They're not just superhero movies anymore. They're great films.
They're just good movies.
Man, speaking of great films, let's jump into this first topic. Because of the amazing word of mouth for Aquaman, apparently there have already been some discussions about a sequel.
Nice.
So crazy.
Nice.
This movie apparently cost the production budget of this movie $200 million, which at this point I feel like $200 million, anything between $175 and like $250 seems pretty standard.
That's
for
pretty
these
average.
Types of movies,
that's crazy.
Which is kind of nuts, right?
Crazy.
This is the first standalone DC movie since Wonder Woman. We had Justice League in between that. That was what it was. I'm very excited. I'm very excited because this is the third sort of standalone superhero movie we had from DC. We had Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, now Aquaman. Then we have Shazam coming out in April. I'm looking forward to it because I feel like Warner Brothers, for me personally, they've done a really great job with the standalone movies.
Yeah.
And when they haven't really focused on the world building aspects of like, we need to put this in there, we need to do these Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Man of Steel, I feel like did a lot of Easter egging, but it did it very subtly, and it didn't force it in there. Whereas I think like other movies forced it in. Wonder Woman did a great job of just being a Wonder Woman story set within the DC universe. There's small little references that I thought were great. This, because it's underwater and it's so disconnected from everything else that's happened. If there are no Easter eggs, I'm totally cool with it. If there are little nods to things, totally cool with it. But I'm excited for this movie because it seems like, from what everyone's saying, that it is very much just focused on Aquaman, Atlantis.
That's what I hear.
The building of this like underwater universe. So that excites me.
The cool, like we've never had a real underwater movie.
No.
Besides like Little Mermaid.
Sure.
But
what about not even the
like
Disney Atlantis movie? That doesn't count though, right?
Like
on this scale?
Not on this scale.
Like live action. We've never really had an
Yeah.
underwater movie, so I'm excited to see what an underwater movie looks like.
Yeah.
Right. Wait, well, Pooch, we first have to talk about like our text because Pooch
Yeah.
and I were kind of doubting this at first. Like,
Yeah,
sure.
Pooch and I weren't really along with it, but I feel like everything changed as soon as we started seeing these trailers.
Yeah.
Like I said before in other shows, the first time I saw this movie was that sort of previs kind of like where they showed those two fishermen on the boat kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I
Which,
was like, this looks lame.
Context.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that was created only for Comic-Con.
I think you're right.
I don't know.
I think you're
Maybe
right.
it'll show up in the movie. I don't know.
I don't think
But
so.
also because it's a year and a half removed from the release date, of course it's going to look janky. Like, we saw stuff from Wonder Woman 84, and we're like...
And that was janky.
That was janky.
That was
but
really
but because
wires.
but because you're running on the faith of the first movie and how good it was, you're like, they're going to handle all that shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I have faith, but that's the thing, though. Like, when I saw that everything that they had done with that scene, I was like, wait, I hope this isn't the tone that they're going to take. So that immediately just put it down in my head.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I hope they don't go this route. I'm hoping that it's not done because they had never done anything like that before. They'd never shown us anything that wasn't done. Previously, before that, Pooch and I, we saw the Wonder Woman debut, and Pooch and I were just like screaming out of excitement. So to go from that to that crappy previous thing that we saw, I was just like, I'm not sure.
The trailers have been visually, it's unvisually.
Oh yeah,
the costumes. The Black Manta costume might be the coolest superhero costume I've ever seen.
Awesome.
Like it visually, I'm freaking out. And then the deeper we get into the trailers, it's like Dolph Lundgren, you're in this. William Dafoe, you're in this. Like it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the scale of it, like when they show that giant crab thing.
Yeah, like the giant underwater monsters.
Yeah. Can you do the crab voice again? Oh my God, I'm in Atlantis right now. Like it's unlike anything we've ever seen. And it's like the first movie. If it's a sequel, how are you going to top that?
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that I've loved about what James Wan has talked about is, and I think this has been the case for all the DC movies, like there are elements of the comic books that they are very faithful to.
Yeah.
When it comes to the look of the characters, it's unbelievable. And like people will look and be like, well, but it's Jason Momoa. I'm like, look at Aquaman in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Minus, it looks exactly the same, except he's not blonde.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Right.
It embraces that 90s Aquaman.
I did not think that green and gold was going to work as well as it does.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh my God, dude. It makes me want to work out so that I can wear something like that.
And I think, go ahead.
Do you think it only works because it's Jason Momoa?
Dude, come on, man. The guy could wear anything.
I was going to say, like, if you take that and it's just a blonde-haired white guy, I don't think it looks
Alexander
cool.
Skarsgård.
Yeah.
You're like,
go away. Like, if Alexander Skarsgård walks out, and it's like,
but Momoa is so such a man. You're
but I think it takes a guy like that to make this work.
Yeah.
Like, it takes this kind of convincing for us to see this green and gold work this way, you know? Because, I mean, look at the arms. It has kind of like that fishy embellishment.
Yeah, it's got like giant fins on his gloves, and you're like, this will never work. And you're like, no, it works like real good.
Who's going to say something to him?
Nobody's going to say anything to him.
He's
going to chug a beer and throw an axe at you.
Absolutely.
The TV spot, someone calls him a fish boy, and he's like, fish man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's going to fuck you
For
up.
real. Oh, man.
I know.
So, yeah, I think this was the perfect call. And everything that I've seen so far, I'm totally into this. I cannot wait to watch this movie. I'm hoping that we get an early screening for this one because
I'm seeing it next Saturday, the 15th.
I missed that screening.
Amazon Prime, baby.
Yeah,
you gotta get on
it.
that.
I missed it. Pooch, and I will go.
I'll go see it again.
Right there.
Okay, well, I'll go. I'll go.
So, and I think another interesting strategy that they took with this is normally they release the movie. I think for all of them, I'm pretty sure they've released all of them here in the United States first. And then they've like simultaneously debuted in other countries and stuff. They actually started in China with this one first, and it actually broke records. It made $1.3 million in Thursday night screenings, and it took in almost $25 million just on Friday alone.
Oh wow!
And because of the word of mouth, it's probably going to be really good. I think it's going to continue to grow and grow and grow and snowball in Asia as it starts moving into other territories and then comes to us. I think by the 21st, it will probably have racked in a pretty good amount of money opening weekend.
Yeah.
It's currently tracking $65 million. It's going to be competing with Mary Poppins Returns and
which
Bumblebee.
is getting really good reviews as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Mary
Poppins.
That's all time.
But I'm not attached to Mary Poppins, so I don't know.
Oh, if I had to choose, Aquaman, you get my money.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I've never seen the original either. Like, I don't I have no attachment to Mary Poppins.
I'm a step in time and go to see Aquaman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a.
I know about the step in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I think the tactic of trying to get international sort of box office up and sort of get the word of mouth to be really. I feel like this type of movie, these comic movies, not in all international markets, but I think like in very particular international markets, they do really, really well. And because those markets just love the characters and they love the brand,
right.
That word of mouth will probably be mostly positive.
Right.
And if this movie is as good as people are saying it is, then it'll be even better.
Yeah.
Therefore, by the time it gets to being here, everyone will sort of be like, cool. If the general audiences and all these other territories are loving it, it must be great.
Right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for the movie to be able to do that. So it's basically a combination of all these things that word of mouth from the press has been really good. The early projections have been pretty high. I think 65 is lowballing it a little bit.
Probably.
I get that Mary Poppins is a big thing for families. I think that there's going to be I think it'll be a similar but also very different demographic that it goes to see Aquaman.
Absolutely.
Especially when you have a character like Mara being such a pivotal character in this movie. I think Bumblebee, I think they're going to sort of maybe have to try to win people over the first weekend. I think people are going to have to go see it. And it's going to be a lot of critical reception for the movie, but I think it's also going to be a lot of word of mouth of like, okay, but is it different than all the other Transformers movies? And then people are like, it's great, then people will go, and I think it's going to be a slow build.
I have a feeling that movie's going to be in theaters for a long time due to the fact that more and more people are going to go as word of mouth.
Slow burn.
Yeah.
Slow burn, but I really, really hope it pays off because this movie, just from the trailers alone, have already made me want to cry.
Yeah.
Like just the way they animate Bumblebee's face and just...
And you get OG Optimus Prime.
Yes, you get G1. G1 Transformers.
Which is going to be dope.
It's going to be amazing.
I won't lie, when I first saw I love Transformers.
Of course.
When I first saw the trailer, I was like,
right.
Because I don't like John Cena. I'm not a huge John Cena fan. But the more trailers I see this movie, I'm like, I'm in. I'm in so hard.
I wish you had been at this Comic-Con with us
to
watch John Cena in action, in person. Did you know that John Cena has the most Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Oh, he's amazing.
Granted?
I love John Cena as a wrestler. I'm just not a huge John Cena acting fan.
Yeah. Have you seen Blockers?
Yes.
Okay.
And here's the thing. I definitely think John Cena's funny, but I think he is like the amount of funny because you don't think he's going to be funny.
Sure.
Because he's a big muscly guy.
He's surprisingly funny, where you're like, oh, I don't expect John Cena to be funny.
Right.
So I'll laugh and I'll like him, where he's not like The Rock, where he's just so overpowering and charming and unreal.
Big ball of energy.
Big
enthusiastic
energy.
I see you.
I didn't mean
to see that.
Change
no, it's fine. It's fine because this is all kind of in the same realm.
Right.
I know you're watching John Cena.
I know.
I don't mean any disrespect, bro. I love you
ill
so
will.
much.
By the way, have you seen his movies where he goes to, or his YouTube videos where he goes to China?
He speaks fluent Chinese.
Mandarin or Cantonese. I don't know which language he's speaking, but he knows it fluently, and like he's speaking to everybody, and he's eating the food, and I'm like,
that's how you do it.
He won me over.
Yeah. What do you think of his? What do you think of his new haircut?
I haven't seen it.
He's like, he's growing it out, so he doesn't have that John Cena fade.
Like the buzz.
So it's like grown out. It's just like it's shocking because you've never seen him.
Hair.
You've seen him for 20 years with the same haircut.
Yeah. Interesting.
Weird.
Huh.
Do you guys, in terms of Aquaman, are you guys worried that maybe it's a little bit of cart before the horse situation, or do you think that because of how they're sort of retooling the DC universe and because of what people are saying about the movie and all that sort of stuff, do you feel like, no, you know what? If they feel good about it, let them make another one. Because I am the guy who's like, cool, where's my Superman movie? That's what I'm waiting for.
I don't blame you for that because it's needed. But at the same time, I don't feel like this movie would have done as well if the other movies hadn't been criticized so much. You know, like, because right now, if you think about where DC is as a whole, as a company, they have nowhere to go but up. Like, they really are fighting an uphill battle. So everything that they put out has to be top notch. Like, can you imagine if this movie comes out and it's another dud? Would they just cancel everything altogether and just say, sorry guys, we're just dropping
we tried.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I have no, like, and it sucks to say, but I don't have faith in the higher ups over at WB to say, oh, well, you know what, we're just going to give it another shot with Flash, or like we're going to give it another shot with Cyborg, or like we're just gonna try Wonder Woman 84, and if that one doesn't work, well then we're done.
Yeah, please God, let Shazam work.
Let Shazam work. So there's so many things in play. So if you really think about where the movie company is, and now you have to go against the juggernaut, which was Infinity War.
Yeah.
Like, good luck competing against any movie competing against that, really. So now you really only have one place to go, and it looks like they came through.
I think also the most important thing for not just DC, like Valiant, Image, whoever decides to make comic book movies, don't get into the business of making movies based on your properties solely to compete with Marvel.
Well, that was the problem with DC at
Exactly.
first. Yeah.
And those were the conversations that I had with executives at DC when I worked there. It was like, we got to be different than Marvel. We gotta make sure I'm like, don't worry about what they're doing.
You are different than Marvel.
Yeah,
you're DC.
Your characters
automatically.
Your universe is already
just
different.
make fun movies.
Yeah, don't worry about what they're doing. I get, it's that whole thing of like, we got to catch up, but we got to do it differently. I'm like, they spend 10 years building up to this. Don't be pressured to do that.
Yeah, you don't have that timeline.
Like, I am okay. I've said this so many times. I am okay with waiting several movies before we get to the unification of all the Justice League characters. I don't need it now.
Are all the new DC movies that are coming out in the future, are they all standalones?
It seems like it. Or sequels.
They're either standalone sequels. There are a couple of like team up movies. But they're not big heroes.
Okay.
It's Birds of Prey. So you got like Batgirl, Huntress, Oracle.
Gotcha.
Flash is going to be a solo movie. Nightwing, Batgirl, those are all like rumored movies that are going to be all solo movies. Right.
But are they treating it almost as if Justice League did not happen?
We don't know yet.
So the interesting thing about Aquaman is Jason Momoa has said that the original ending of Justice League ties into Aquaman, but because we don't have that ending, it's the Joss Whedon ending.
Gotcha.
It still takes place after Justice League, but it doesn't tie in. Yeah, and it doesn't tie in the way that we think it will.
The Snyder cut does though.
Apparently, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's some differences there, and it's just it's odd to think about this kind of thing just because everything's been so hit and miss that like we also forget that there's another Joker movie coming out. Like there's a Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie coming out. Where does that lie in all this? Where does this put DC as far as everything goes? Like, what if that movie's a banger too? Yeah. Like, what if that? I have a feeling it might be.
That movie, what I've seen on that, looks crazy.
That movie looks like it's gonna be a banger as well. So. What is that going to leave DC making great standalone movies?
Which I'm cool with.
I'm cool with that too. Like I'm okay with them doing all that. If that's your strong point, then stick with that. But to go back to your point, the failures happened because they were just making movies to spite Marvel. Yeah. And now they put themselves in a position where they have to think differently. So they're forcing themselves to be in this position, which if we get them some great movies from now on, I'm cool with it. Like I'd be willing to forgive everything that I don't like in the past.
Yeah. Well, plus I think like honestly, I think doing it this way, going this route where you're just going to establish a bunch of characters, we're going to talk about in the next topic. It's like you're allowing the world to diversify. Yeah. You're not just relying on Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, but you're going to potentially embrace characters like Oracle, Huntress, Plastic Man, Booster Gold, Blue Beetle. It's like that's to go out the gate. I know.
I saw your heart explode.
To go out the gate, to be and that's how you're different. Yeah. That's how you're different from Marvel. Marvel relied on 5 or 6 characters to build up towards the Avengers.
Yeah. Right.
DC, the advantage that we're starting to see, this pattern we're starting to see is we're going to diversify the entire slate of characters and build out the universe first, and then we can go in and attack these joining stories of like Batman and Superman, Wonder Woman, the Trinity, the Justice League. I think that like doing that approach where like let's just be different, let's build up these characters, let's cherry pick what works really well, let's unify those worlds. Just do that, and I think you'll be good.
You know what would be great is get just team up movies that aren't a big group team up movie like Avengers style.
Get the Trinity together.
Let's get a Booster Gold movie. Let's get a Blue Beetle movie. Yeah. Have them be buddy cop like what's it called? Beverly Hills Cop style. Lethal Weapon style. What's it called? Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, Rush Hour style. Like, let's see those kinds of movies because that's something that's not happening right now either. You know, like people like the combination of Thor and Rocket, which was really cool, right? Like they had a cool dynamic going on in Infinity
That's something
War.
you're definitely not seeing at
But
Marvel
we're not
happening.
seeing it. No, and that's a market that they could definitely hit. But maybe they'll go in that direction.
Sure.
That's just wishful thinking on my end. That would be fun.
Just based on what we've seen so far of Aquaman, I'm really impressed. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Shazam, we're gonna get another trailer maybe on Sunday. We'll see.
Already into
well,
it,
like
though.
I'm already into it. That first trailer was great.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. So we'll see. We'll see. Staying on the trend of DC movies, Plastic Man. Plastic Man apparently is a movie that is in development currently.
That's interesting.
Being written by an up-and-coming screenwriter named Amanda Idoko. She was a staff writer on an ABC show called The Mayor. Her first feature script is currently going into production. Laura Dern is one, and Allison Janney are two of the actors in that movie, so that should be really, really interesting. I like the fact that Warner's, and I think Marvel's also doing it, but DC has very much been embracing it, giving newcomers a lot of chances. Diversifying the talent behind the camera, giving newcomers a lot of chances. We've seen that with Kathy Yan. We're seeing that just with a lot of different movies. And I like that. My only hope is, and I know we talked about it with Hector, is like, I hope that this writer came into the room and they said, we like what you've been doing on this show. We like this feature film. We like this script. Is there a character in the DC universe that you would like to make? Because that's what they apparently did with Ava DuVernay.
And she did
the New Gods.
Yeah.
She can do the New Gods with Big Barda. Yeah. So like, I like that approach because I feel like if I'm a fan of these comic book characters, and I want to see the best possible representation of Plastic Man, Eel O'Brien, I want someone who knows the character
and likes it
and likes the character and is like, this could be such a fun thing. I have this idea. It's this character. It's Eel O'Brien. He was this crook. You know, he got shot. He got this like this liquid poured on him. He's kind of like Mr. Fantastic, but he's different because he's this thing. And to like really have someone who embraces that and be like, it's going to be different. I promise. This is what
just
we do.
look at that costume.
I mean, it's so great.
I really hope they keep that costume.
I hope so too. It's so ridiculous.
Who would you like to play Plastic Man?
I know when we had talked with Hector.
There's a rumor going around of the guy who plays Tom Haverford's business partner.
No way.
John Ralphio? John Ralphio, that guy.
Really?
There's rumors that he is being eyed to play this role. And I can see it.
I can see that.
I could see that.
I felt like, just looking at the picture, I feel like they would cast oh my God, why am I totally forgetting his name? He played supposedly Robin in Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, JGL.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know why.
I mean, I could see it, but I feel like this character has to be Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
I feel like this character has to be really goofy.
Oh,
like really.
Ben Schwartz can,
The deep end, the other end of the spectrum of that would be like a Jim Carrey.
Yes, it would be like a Jim Carrey, but
not Jim Carrey.
But that's the thing, like Jim Carrey at this point, you know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So it would just be Jim Carrey with stretchy arms.
Exactly.
You know.
Which
isn't necessarily a bad thing.
For my taste, I think it's too ridiculous.
Too much, yeah.
But I also think in this point in his career, he's not into doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
He's off the deep end right now.
Yeah.
So I feel like a Ben Schwartz would be perfect.
I could see that.
Because that guy, to me at least, he was one of the best parts of Parks and Rec.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was amazing. He's young, he's hungry, he's funny.
Yeah.
Like, let's have him do some real goofy shit like this. It'll be really fun.
The other thing that I thought was a good thing that they pointed out in the article was saying that the film will reportedly embrace the lighthearted tone of the character, which, like, yes, if you're going to do Plastic Man and you are going to commit to making this movie, I've seen some articles say that this could kind of be like the Deadpool of the DC universe, which, like, I get where it's coming. I get where they're coming from because it's got a lighthearted sort of comedic tone. Right. But yeah, it's different than what like Booster Gold would do. So I like, and again, there is nothing wrong with having a cinematic universe that embraces all tones of film. You can have the dark dramas, but you can also have the lighthearted, more fun films.
I think they have completely flipped the script on that. Like, I don't imagine any more dark and gritty coming out from DC. I feel like with the success, because I have a very high feeling that Aquaman is going to be a huge success.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that they're just going to let the creators, which they've been saying for a while, the creators create.
Nice.
You know?
Well, like, look, DC invented the formula for these superhero movies.
They did.
As much as people, like, I think Marvel took it to the next level.
Right.
everything starts with Superman 78.
Donner Superman, yeah.
Kevin Feige talks about it all the time. Like, before they start working on a Marvel movie, they watch Superman 78.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like the modern DC has sort of tried to go away from that and embrace more of the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight, which is valid for the right character.
For Batman.
And I think there's a few other characters
Lobo.
too. Like, I think Birds of Prey, like, you can also lean into that a little bit more because it's within that universe.
Right.
The Joker movie can lean into that.
Right.
But, like, there are other characters, like Plastic Man, that doesn't fit that tone.
If
Plastic Man is, like, on the opposite end of the
If
spectrum.
Plastic Man were to be dark and gritty, I would give up.
It'd be like
Immediately.
it'd be like watching that trailer for that Power Rangers Dark and Gritty movie. I'm like,
oh God,
this is fun as a fan film, but like as a real thing, I'm like, that's not what Power
Did you ever
Rangers
see that,
is.
Pooch?
The one with James Vanderbeek?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little
Like,
too serious.
It was
Yeah.
right. It didn't feel
I'm like,
right.
that's not Power Rangers.
I loved the new one. I
Yeah.
wish it was more of them talking in the suits, beating up.
Well, yeah, doing this thing.
Like that was my favorite part of when they finally
Yeah.
morphed and they start doing their thing. But
Right.
I want to hear corny lines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you could use a hand, and then he like rips his hand off.
Well, because
Something
it's that thing of like you can still embrace the cheese factor of
Yeah.
what the show was,
Right.
but
Yeah.
still make it modern.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
don't be afraid to modernize it, but like still embrace like what it is at its core.
And it's a movie.
Yeah.
I have
Have
a question.
fun.
I have a question about a Lobo movie.
Yes.
Would you be mad if they cast Jason Momoa to play Lobo as well?
I think it would. Truthfully, no. I think for me, no. But I think it would also depend on like, is this all supposed to be interconnected?
Yeah.
Right.
If it's an
That's- so
Elseworld
that's the
story
thing, yeah.
and it's just Lobo on the solo
Yeah.
adventures of Lobo, fine. But if he's tied into the other characters, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's in the universe, no. But also, there's another huge Samoan guy out there. His name is The Rock.
Yeah.
Get him, be Lobo.
I mean,
he hasn't really done a bad guy yet.
Well, he's supposed to do Black Adam.
Black
I
Adam.
know, but that's the thing. Like, if it's not tied
I
in,
know.
he can
Yeah.
go and be Lobo.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, they can really cast anybody. Lobo is Spanish for wolf, so cast a Mexican guy. in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like have
Javier Bardem.
a bigger Mexican guy, like a wrestler, like a huge like honking wrestler.
Yeah.
A luchador guy, and then have him be Lobo.
Yeah.
You know, like it would be awesome to see him show up with like a thick Mexican accent.
Mm.
I would think that would be dope.
I like your style. I like
On
your
a
style.
chopper? Yeah, hell
Oh,
yeah.
that'd be amazing. A floating chopper.
floating chopper,
Hell
come
yeah.
on.
Big old
dude.
cigar.
Yeah,
There we go.
it's got to be.
It's gotta be bigger. I was
It's gotta
be
I
honking.
I was more like
It's a
a
That's like a
cigarette.
French
fancy
French
debutante.
bench on a little
Yeah.
on a
S'il
stick.
vous plaît.
But how dare you,
How dare
Augustine
you.
Rios? Like,
But Plastic Man, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I'm
That's
just
gonna be
excited that we're getting so many superhero movies.
Well, it's a wide net, right? They're casting
Yeah.
a wide
Yeah.
net, and they're going, let's do all this crazy shit,
This is fun.
and let's.
It is fun.
That's why, like, again, I was so happy when we went to Comic-Con this year, and they didn't really reveal a slate,
Yeah,
and they just did the movies that were definitively shooting or in post-production. I'm like, great. Focus on the stuff that we know 100% is happening.
Yeah.
The rest of that shit, don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
Like
I don't need
this-
to see
like
the title
this
for
stuff.
Flash 5 times.
like this stuff. I mean, it's good that they're just kind of slowly releasing
Sprinkling
it
stuff
out there.
out,
Just
yeah.
sprinkle it out. Let us know that something is in the works.
What's the reception from Twitter
right,
and Instagram?
Right. Exactly. Just to, I mean, look at our conversations about this. We're having fun with this. We're looking forward
Totally.
to something like this.
Totally.
But you haven't brought the gravity of like Comic-Con is we're announcing
Yeah.
this and that's
Here's the
definitely
slate
gonna
of
happen.
10 movies. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
It's
Make
too
it
much.
happen.
It's
Yeah,
too much.
Yeah. Another character that is apparently going to be getting a movie is Shang-Chi.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know very much
Master.
about Shang-Chi.
Nothing about
This is a character that was
Shang-Chi.
modeled after Bruce Lee. I guess Marvel was trying to get the rights to
Yep.
Kung Fu, the show with David Carradine. They couldn't get the rights. I think they were probably trying to adapt that character into their comic book. So they ended up creating a character called Shang-Chi based off of Bruce Lee, which actually I think worked out better for Marvel in the end because it was a nice way to diversify and create an Asian
Yeah.
superhero.
Yeah.
Like most superheroes that were created of that time, 70s. This character kind of came out of the blaxploitation era, when you had other characters coming out, and when kung fu movies were starting to become a very big sort of thing in America, in the United States, were being imported like crazy.
Yeah.
So obviously the tropes of that time sort of were brought in with the creation of this character. So I think today, obviously, and so they currently have a Chinese American writer, David Callahan. He wrote Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, wow.
He's writing the sequel to Spider-Verse. He wrote the first Expendables, which I actually really like the first Expendables.
First Expendables.
First Expendables, dope. You kidding me?
Thing is,
it's so good.
They can make them every year, and I'll go see it.
Same. I know, bro. Totally. Totally. So it's all about diversification, and Marvel is very much just like DC. They're trying to be at the forefront of diversifying behind the camera, in front of the camera. So they are looking for an Asian or Asian American filmmaker to take on this project.
Awesome.
I think this is cool. So aside from being a kung fu master, Shang-Chi has the ability to duplicate himself.
Oh.
So that could be really fun. That's sort of like that's my limited knowledge on the character.
Okay.
Multiple.
But it's intriguing to have this character who can be a kung fu master, but also has the ability to duplicate himself. I think the biggest thing when you're trying to modernize this story is, what are the tropes of the 70s that you leave at the door that you don't address?
Yeah.
What is the stuff that you carry over and address, but you do it in a way that's within the context of modern time?
Yeah.
That either moves it ahead or addresses them like, this you have to sort of bravely just address it and deal with it, or you just leave it out. So
that's why you bring an Asian American writer.
Yeah.
That's why you bring
and a filmmaking
an Asian American team
exactly.
in.
You don't let a bunch of white guys.
No.
write this movie.
That's part of the reason why we're in this problem is because nobody ever consulted an Asian person to write this character in the first place in the 70s.
How do you modernize this? I don't want to say distasteful, because I think that's disrespectful to the source material. But how do you take all these things that nowadays will not work, and do it in a way that's like, hey, we want to make sure that we get the eyes and ears of the Asian American community on this, so it's just not like white people making this right.
But also, this character has survived the test of time.
Yes,
he's still around, so you still have to pay homage to what that character is.
Yes, the essence of what it is.
The essence of what he is. You don't have to keep everything the same. I think at this point it's just important to represent the Asian community in superhero movies. Just like we still need Latino representation, we still need all this stuff. But at the same time, I like the fact that they are making this move. And it's not even just for us. Like, it's for little kids. Can you imagine? Like, I can't imagine if I saw a Mexican superhero.
Right.
That's why I like luchadores so much, because to me, those were superheroes back in the day. They wore capes, they wore masks, and I'm like, they're high-flying, really, like, buff dudes. I was like, cool, those are superheroes.
Yeah.
But then I saw the X-Men, and that's why I like Wolverine as well, because he was the only little stocky guy. I saw luchadores, saw Wolverine, I was like, oh, this guy's just a luchador with claws on his hands. This guy's great.
But but it's not even about little kids. It's like even adults, man. Like when my wife and I went and saw Black Panther, and you guys know my wife's black, and I remember looking over at her right when the movie hits, and she's crying.
Yep.
And I was like, what's going on? What's going on?
You're like, I don't know this feeling.
She's like, are you okay? She's like, I've never seen so many amazing black actors in one movie doing an amazing job in a good movie with just everything for it.
And Ryan Coogler.
And everybody. It was written from the point of view of African Americans. It wasn't a white guy going, oh, I wonder how an African American feels in this situation.
Exactly.
I don't know what it's like to be black. I don't know what it's like to be Latino.
Check.
I don't know what it's like to be Czech. You know what I mean? So it's unfair for me to write a story. I'm going to write a story about a Czech American. I'm going to write a story about a Latino American. It's like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
you see the world completely different.
Exactly. And I agree. It's not specifically for the kids or for adults, but I do like the sentiment of in leading the way in like a cultural shift in movies that might influence other movies, because as far as like trying to be inclusive, you don't hear that a lot in other movies, or in other genres. You know, like people make the movies that they want to make. Yeah. And that's it, really. So if it happens to be an African-American team making an African-American movie, you hear that, but it's like, okay, cool. But when you hear like, well, we have this Asian-American character that's problematic and we're going to try to fix that, that's, I feel like, more important to progressing and moving the culture along, you know, because it's addressing the problem, it's seeing the problem, and correcting it to where little kids are going to see something that they might have never seen before. Yeah. And people like Jess might have their minds blown, not realizing that they've never seen it before. So I think it's just a really good move, awesome. And it sucks that people are writing off superhero movies as like, oh, well, these are just dumb superhero movies, when they're really trying at this point. I feel like they're trying, because
we're in that era now where effort's being put in.
Yeah, exactly.
Not only effort's being put in, but name a movie and we'll get into this, I'm sure, later. But like, name a movie that's had a bigger effect on just culture than Black Panther.
That movie was a movement
in the last
10
years.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's not even in the point of like, oh, it's a great movie, you got to see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I love Titanic. Like, even though Titanic was huge, it wasn't a movement like Black Panther was.
Yeah, and I think 100%. You're absolutely right. And that movie was a positive movie. Like, we had that other movie, Detroit, with John Boyega come out too. That movie was about an important history in African Americans, but it was also like depressing because it was heavy on the racism and like, you know, like it was just a depressing
true story.
True story and very important to tell. Yeah. Very important not to forget things like that, which also has its place in history, but like being so positive, I felt it. I'm not Black, and I felt like amazing seeing all these people up on screen. You know?
Like if it takes superhero movies to get these points across and to invite new faces and writers and stuff like that in the game, I'm all for it. I think it's the coolest way.
Yeah. Well, it's like you look at Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious has been doing it. Yeah. And with Fast 5, I think the worldwide audience realized, oh shit, there's someone here that represents me.
Right.
And I think that was so important that Fast and the Furious, I don't want to say they established it because I think there have been other movies that have done it, but I think in the modern time, Fast and the Furious was really the big major one to be like, hey, it's a completely multicultural audience, and it's not a big deal in the sense of like we're not making a big deal, but these characters it just is. It reflects the world that we live in. Yeah, this is family. This is family. No matter how different they look, they are all family because they're all close together.
But also think about those movies in the scope of like the Academy. Yeah. Those movies are just like pushed aside. Oh, they're just like, that's not important.
Because
like,
they're not in black and white. Or they play them at AMC's instead of like some weird theater that seats 10 people.
Because it had a limited release in LA and Chicago.
That's right.
And that's it. So like it sucks that it's taken so long to get to this point. Mm-hmm. And it kind of sucks that superhero movies have to take the charge in this. Yeah. Sure. But I feel like I represent the nerd community a little bit, and I feel like I'm happy that this change is coming from this side of the fence.
Plus, I think both Marvel and DC, because of how big they are, because of how well-known they are, because of the power that they command, especially building up your cinematic universe for 10 years, you are allowed to be the pioneer of the industry and put the spotlight. Now that we've had the Captain Americas, the Thors, the Iron Mans, and all that sort of stuff, you now, because everyone loves your brand so much, you now can spotlight Shang-Chi and Black Panther and all these other characters, and people will look at it and go, oh man, there's a lot more that this universe has to offer. Same thing with DC with like Blue Beetle and all these other characters. Like there's so much more to offer. It's not just about Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash, Aquaman, Martian Manhunter.
It's everybody.
There's all these other characters.
There's room for everybody.
Yeah, literally. Which is so rad.
If you're an alien, we got you.
There's room for Booster Gold.
Oh God, there's
still room for Booster Gold, Pooch. Like you can have everybody.
Oh. Man.
Like, you don't need to change Booster Gold. You can just add him.
For those of you who may not watch the show or may have missed some previous episodes, we are determined to get Pooch to play Booster Gold in the movie. So Warner Brothers,
I'm gonna
do yourself a service.
I'm gonna Will Smith it in action.
God,
exactly. Just force yourself into that one and then knock it out of the freaking park.
It's gonna happen.
So good, so good.
Yeah. Would you even doubt I would knock it out? I wouldn't knock it out.
No, I'm down. I'm saying that you are.
I've seen you play Booster twice. It was amazing. When the sun is bright and the thighs are right. Oh, so good. So
always
good.
Showing off his thighs.
Oh, always. So because CCXP is happening this weekend, we got a first look. There's a bunch of stuff that's on display there. We have the stealth suit from Spider-Man Far From Home. Shazam has 2 posters. They revealed like one that's specific to the expo, and then we have like the regular theatrical print. It's a very, very simple poster. It's just Shazam against a very like, I don't know, the most
Shazam-y background.
Yeah, the most Shazam-y background. I honestly, I kind of wish that he was holding a bunch of the stuff from the convenience store.
Popcorn,
all that shit, and then the convenience store was behind him. But like, as a poster, I'm like, yeah, it's cool. It's fine. Yeah, I just kind of want the trailer.
I'm okay at this point. Like, popping bubble gum.
I like that caption. Just say the word.
No, I think the caption is great, and I love the fact that it embraces sort of that big quality about Shazam. Because I think Zachary Levi nailed it when he's like, this is wish fulfillment. This is Superman meets big. Yeah. This is what that movie is.
Yeah.
And the costume's growing on me.
That's what
really
I'm telling
like
you. Yeah. I'm okay with it at this point. And I told you when we saw him at Comic-Con, I was like, Pooch, I wish you had been here to watch him. Because he changed my mind immediately when he got on stage. I was like,
he's electric.
He's going to do it. Yeah. He's going to do it well, and I think this movie's going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny, too. David Sandberg, the director, he's such, like, a good sport about the whole thing. Because, you know, there were people on Instagram who were, like, really pissed that this movie embraces, like, the fun, light tone. And we're saying some very negative things towards him about just in general about things. But, you know, saying, like, what executive forced you to make this lighter tone and funny and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, bro, read some comics.
Yeah, exactly.
Embrace the source material.
Why
like
does everything have to be dark?
I don't know.
We got enough dark stuff going on in the real world.
I know.
Like, let's have fun.
This is my, like, comic books are my escapism.
Yeah. I was watching the newest episode of Hot Ones, and it was with Pete Holmes. You guys know the improv actor. He was talking mad shit about Superman. And that immediately made me not like him. And he was like, come on, Superman, he's like the worst one. He's like, I can't relate to that perfect being. I'm like, he didn't specifically say those words, but I'm like, you don't read any comic books then. Yeah. That means that you don't read anything. And he's like, and so Sean asked him, he's like, who's your favorite? He's like, oh, Batman, obviously. Because he bleeds, like you can cut him, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
just eat your wings.
Okay,
Pete.
just eat your wings, Pete, because you don't read comic books.
It's sort of the same thing when like everybody talks about how amazing The Dark Knight Returns is, and I'm like, are you someone who read that comic before 2012 or 2013, or are you one of those people who read it when the sales spiked 150% after they announced Batman versus Superman?
Right, because they said that was the source material for this one. It sucks that that's the vision that some people have of it. Yeah. They ignore 80 years of comic books for this Snyderverse that we have. Yeah. That is one version of the comic books.
Which, like, look, here's the thing about that. I think those movies are great if they are an Elseworld story. Yeah. Because they embrace those Elseworld stories incredibly well. If you're going to adapt The Dark Knight Returns, this one-off story set in another timeline, it's great. I think for the general sort of adaptation of the DC universe, I think it's harder. And Marvel, like, they really fooled everybody by sort of embracing, and it's funny because I said this on Twitter, I said that like Marvel really embraced the tone of the DC comics and didn't really go in the route that Fox went with the X-Men movies, where it's very like political and it's much darker, more serious, and like I guess you could say it's kind of realistic. Yeah. And they went sort of the more DC, the fantastic route. Right. And somebody was like, yeah, when I read these 10 comics, I really think of the Marvel movies. I'm like, you name stories that are all one-offs, don't take place within the main continuity of the DC universe, or Elseworld stories. Like, there were only a couple in there that were, like, main continuity. But they were Batman ones. And I'm like, I'm not saying that you can't have the darker tone. You totally can have it. You should have it. Not every movie needs to be lighthearted and fun. I think you have that, but you also contrast it with the dramatic elements that make us relate to these characters that may be a little more fantastic. Aquaman seems to be doing that because he's a character of two worlds. Yep. He doesn't really know or understand which history of himself he should embrace, whether it's his father's, whether it's his mother's. It's a, for lack of term, like it's a fish out of water story. You know,
it's an immigrant story,
and that is relatable to people. So it's like if you can take those elements and infuse those into these superhero characters, these DC characters, then they start being less fantastic and they start being relatable while still embracing the bigness.
I also feel like people are kind of confusing dark and gritty with realism, because that fish out of water story is realism. Yeah. You know, like not everything has to be like depressing and colorless.
No. Talk to someone who's biracial.
Yeah.
And hear them talk about, I'm not this enough, I'm not this enough. Like it's
struggle of like
it's real life. It's not underwater.
Yeah. You don't even have to be biracial. It's the reason why I love the Ninja Turtles so much. Like I don't feel like I fit in the U.S. and I don't feel like I fit in Mexico either. Yeah. Like where do I fit in this? Because my president doesn't like me here, but then I go to Mexico and like I don't fit into that culture either. Yeah. You know, so like it's a part of life that like I'm not depressed because of it. It's just like it's just something that I'm trying to navigate. Yep. You know, like so it's a part of life that I feel like people are ignoring. Yeah. Hopefully this movie and even, maybe even Shazam as part of this, like it's going to be a kid inside of an adult suit, and when you're a kid all you want to be is grown up, you know, like. And what I remember when I was a kid, I would watch Dragon Ball Z, and as I was drifting off to sleep, I would imagine myself with those powers, and I'm like, oh my god, that would be the greatest thing ever, right? Yeah. To fly, super strength, all that.
Yeah.
But then, like, you're grown up, and then you're like, oh, I kind of want to be a kid again.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think can be done so incredibly well with Shazam is the fact it's totally that.
Yeah.
It's like it's a kid who wants to be an adult. He wants to go out there and he wants to like experience the real world.
Yeah.
He gets to become that and he realizes, oh shit, there's a lot of responsibility being an adult and a lot of weight that I need to carry on my shoulders. Yep. Is this worth it? And I think kids or teens will watch them. They'll go like, damn, I better enjoy my youth because once I
hope
become
so.
You're right though.
Enjoy not paying bills, bro.
You're right because I now being 31, I'm like, oh man, I miss being 15.
Exactly.
For real.
Trust me. And Shazam is that character that can do that, and if he does that well, it's going to not only teenagers and kids and young adults will embrace that. Adults will look at that and go like, yeah, man, Shazam is me.
Yeah,
that's me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so I think this movie could pull it off perfectly.
Yeah,
and I have full faith in it.
Did that get you, Pooch?
Well,
Did that get you?
It's one of those things where it's like, I think when we get to be an adult, we forget that child innocence that we had, and we forget to dream. We forget to just have fun.
Yeah.
And life is hard. Life is crazy. You got bills. You got so many things. You have responsibilities. But like, if you can kind of take a step back and remember how you were as a kid, and almost navigate through life like that.
I feel like you, out of everybody I know, does that better than anybody that I know.
I appreciate that.
You are the most Shazam-y friend that we have.
No, for real. Like for real. Like I appreciate that side of you because it reminds me to like maybe not take things so seriously. Like maybe have a little bit more fun. It's
tough.
Like, it's tough because you get bogged down by everyday things.
And I was talking to my buddy's kid the other day, and he was like on his cell phone, and he's like,
the kid was.
And I didn't have a cell phone until I was a freshman in college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now I understand it's a different time. But he was on his cell phone. He's like talking to everybody. He's got his Instagram. He's got all these things. And he's just talking about like, how old are you, Pooch? I'm like, I'm 33. He's like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I can't wait to be old and blah, blah. I was like, listen, dude, you're going to be older.
Life lessons. Here we go.
You're going to be older a lot longer than you will be younger.
Yeah.
Embrace the youngness. Have fun with it because you may lose it along the way.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard to get it back when you're older.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. That is one of my. That's the best. One of the best compliments.
It's good. It's good. That's why you're an influencer.
That's right.
You influence me every day.
I'm influencing people to try to stay young.
Plus, I think
have fun.
I think also like we're very lucky that we live in a time where the further along in time we get, the sort of like the younger people get. So like 40 today is not 40, 50 years ago.
No, 40 was so old.
It was old.
Then. Now I'm like, wow, 40 are so young.
Yeah.
No, but it's also
like live it up.
Yeah, you got to adapt too.
You really have to.
You got to adapt as much as you're like.
You got to take care of your skin.
You hate this. You got to be down with this.
You do.
You got to.
My mom will text me like she's like, I don't know how to do this. I'm like, Mom,
get on it.
Google's been around.
Yeah.
Just give it a Google.
Just give it a Google.
It's not that I don't want to help you, but like you gotta embrace the world.
Yep.
You gotta embrace that new tech. Let's talk a little bit about the superheroes at the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes were announced.
Yeah, buddy.
Very, very exciting. All three of these movies that are in here, these superhero movies that are in here, I loved. Two of the ones that I've seen, I loved both of them. Black Panther nominated for Best Picture in the Best Motion Picture Drama, the first superhero movie to be nominated for a Golden Globe in this category. Not even The Dark Knight. Which is like in 2008, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But in 2018, it's great to see. And like, I hate when people go out there like it's overrated. It's overrated. It's not overrated. Shut up. Plus, be thankful that like we had a movie that like finally made this happen.
Yeah.
Because now there's a lot more possibility for more of these movies.
And it's about time.
Yeah.
It's like it's a movie. It should be graded just like every other movie.
Exactly.
Right? Like just because
it is a superhero.
Just because it's like every time I think about Andy Serkis not getting nominated for Best Actor, I get so mad because I'm like, he was so amazing. Yeah. Okay, sorry he wasn't there on set. That makes it even harder. Yeah. You're not acting against anybody else. You're acting by yourself, and you're doing these amazing.
Or if you are, you're not in a costume.
You're not. It's like it should be graded. First of all, the Oscars are so silly. The Golden Globes are so silly to me because art is so subjective.
Totally.
You can say something that was so good, and I can be like, Adam, you're crazy. That was terrible. You know what I mean? So it's
like that happens every day in our life.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
So it's about time that that they're treating these movies as equals.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, okay, well, I guess we'll nominate the certain.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It's about time, but this might be a fluke.
That's true.
Like, who's to say that any movies are going to get nominated
Yeah.
next time?
It could be the Hollywood Foreign Press saying, like, if we don't nominate this movie, we'll never hear the end of it.
And also, I think they're doing it because their ratings are doing real bad. Just like the Oscars had to put in that special category just so Black Panther could get a nod.
Yeah.
I'm like,
but if it's a good movie, it's like the Black Panther score. It's amazing.
Also nominated.
Yeah,
for
like
Ludwig
Ludwig
Göransson.
Yeah, he's unreal. Have you ever worked out to the trumpets of Wakanda? Oh my God, you'll bench press straight up.
You'll bench press Wakanda.
A million pounds.
You could put vibranium plates
all
on.
the vibranium in the world. And then your pecs will instantly turn into vibranium.
Yeah, vibranium pecs, vibranium glutes.
Yep.
Be out of
just
control.
vibranium everything.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's the sound vibranium makes. Yeah.
The movie was also nominated for a Best Original Song, All the Stars, which was the song that plays at the end credits. It was kind of like the official music video for the movie. Yeah. Then obviously we got Incredibles 2 and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse being nominated for Best Picture Animated.
Wow.
Which
isn't that good? It's that good.
Look, man,
Dude,
like
it's that good.
If it's that, I think. I could be wrong. I think it still currently has a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and it has like over 50 reviews.
Visually, it looks dope.
I think and it's crazy because like in a year when you have like a Disney animated movie coming out, whether it's Pixar or Walt Disney Animation, it's like to have a superhero movie, a Spider-Man movie,
out of the blue.
Yeah,
out of the
blue. To beat it like that is like. Damn, that'd be amazing if that movie ended up taking the Oscar for Best Animated
So far, The
Motion Picture.
Incredibles has been the biggest animated movie ever created. The Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2,
yeah. Made the most money. Like, it's just the biggest so far. So to have this movie come out of left field and, like, even contend with it, that's big, dude.
Into the Spider-Verse, I feel like, is hitting that, like, hype train because they've crossed boundaries into like the sneaker world, where they've released a Into the Spider-Verse Jordan 1, which is like a huge deal. So when you hit, and that's what Black Panther did is it crossed this like hype beast type of line, and I feel like Spider-Verse is doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you get a shoe, you get all the sneakerheads going.
You get all the sneakerheads.
It's just like it's crossing boundaries.
But also the timing is perfect because of Infinity War.
Yes.
Like, we're all coming off of, like, we miss Peter Parker. We don't know what's going to happen. All the attention's on Spider-Man right now.
And for someone like me, who I know my basic Spider-Man information, but watching the trailer and seeing all these different Spider-Man characters,
it's dope,
I'm
right?
like, wait, what is...
Yeah.
Like, even Jess wants to see it.
Really?
And I was like...
You're like, is this my wife?
Yeah. I was like, you want to see a cartoon movie?
Cartoon?
Yeah, well, I think also, you know, it's always the misconception of like it's animated, so it's got to be for kids.
Right.
And I think most people are walking out of it, they're going like, look, whatever you thought about animated movies, put the phone down and go watch this because it's. I think just technically, it's also so incredible what they've done, blending the various animation styles and all that sort of stuff. Like, I think it's just going to be a visual feast, and the fact that they were able to tell a compelling story where you care about Peter Parker, you care, and now everyone's like. Jesus, give us a Miles Morales movie. Like the fact that they were able to do that and introduce this character in an animated feature film and everybody's like, please adapt this character to live action is a huge win. And to be completely honest, the fact that Sony pulled this off.
Right.
I always have faith in Lord and Miller. You know, they've done Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs. They've done a lot of stuff at Sony really, really well. But, you know, when it comes to Spider-Man, he's been really hit and miss. And you know, obviously will also depend on who's sort of in charge of it. So I was a little apprehensive only because of that, because it was Sony. I had faith in Lord and Miller, even though they're not the directors, they're the producers. I had faith that, like, okay, if you brought on these 3 directors to do Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, there must have been some element that they pitched to you or something that won you over for you to say, like, great, these are the 3 guys that we think can handle this. Yeah. The fact they knocked it out of the park is, like, so exciting.
I really want to see the bonus footage of this movie just because I want to know, I want to see how they develop that visual style.
Yeah.
Because it's so unique, you know? It lends itself to that hype beast culture that you're talking about. Like, everything is ultra cool in this movie.
Very cool.
And I want to see exactly how they came up with this overall look and tone.
So good.
But to go back to what Pooch said, I think the Oscars and the Golden Globes and all those award shows are ridiculous. And I refuse to give them any credence because they didn't give any nods to Creed 1.
Yeah.
Creed 1 was complete. Well, actually, not completely
except for
ignored.
Golden Globes, they gave Sylvester Stallone the Golden Globe,
and that's wrong. I mean, he did a good job, but Coogler should have got all the nods.
Was he not? He wasn't even nominated for that, huh?
Who?
Coogler.
No. So I think
I'm still salty about
I
that.
think the movie may have been nominated for other things other than the Golden Globes and the Oscars, but Sly was the only one who was nominated and won the Oscar.
Yeah.
Or Golden Globes.
Golden Globes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No. So.
Which even he was shocked about it and surprised. Which I get it.
Those shows lost all credibility to me after that.
I know.
All right.
The last thing we're going to talk about.
I
don't know. Did you guys see the trailer for this?
No.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the trailer for this.
No, I won't even front. I have no idea what this is.
Oh.
This is one of those things where I don't know.
I know it's a game.
Yeah.
I know it says Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I have no idea what this is either.
So the video game awards, the Game Awards were last night, and this is one of the things that they premiered. I remember playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. That came out 10 years ago. This is basically the next chapter of that series of games.
I mean, that picture looks dope.
This is coming exclusively to the Nintendo Switch. I saw this trailer and I freaked out. I was like, this looks dope. Part of me is very curious if the game, because I'll show you from the trailer, but it basically is Infinity War in game mode. It just involves a bunch more characters.
Interesting.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
My only experience with Marvel in games is the Marvel vs. Capcom games.
I love those games. That's what I thought this was.
Yeah.
And I was like, are they bringing that back?
Well, I mean, it's still kind of going on.
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out.
Yeah.
I played that. My favorite is still Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Who was your character?
My combo team for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was Wolverine, Magneto, and Ryu.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wolverine, Magneto, and Ryu were my three characters.
Lucas, am I good to play this? All right, let's go.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Oh. Idiots.
I knew it.
Your stupidity may have doomed the universe.
Wouldn't be the first time, sweetheart.
Ooh.
Can you guys hear?
Who oppose our master shall fall.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Oh, there's Ultron.
Had its chance to
wow.
rule the universe.
Yeah, there he is. Oh, that was dope.
Like to see it try, Scrappy.
There's my boy.
So sick.
Is that Apocalypse?
When the Black Order unites, death always prevails.
If we want to survive here, we do it as a team.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
good. So
Okay.
good.
One of the ones that weren't in the movie, the Proxima Nova.
Nova, okay. I'm gonna have to buy a Nintendo Switch now.
I shall be waiting here.
Of course you will, Thanos. I mean, you're the big bad right now.
So I saw the trailer for this game and I was like, this looks so incredible. Like, and everybody, there's no
cool.
secret that I'm not the biggest gamer.
You're not a gamer. I wouldn't consider you a gamer at all.
But like, I saw the trailer for this and I was like, I have to. Like, it was. It definitely has a lot of the flavor of Avengers: Infinity War, that whole story, the Black Order, all that sort of stuff. But I like this. The difference being that they bring in the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, other Marvel characters that I'm like, man, this is what this game to me almost represents. This is what the Marvel Cinematic Universe could have been had we had all of these franchises.
Well, I mean, it's
And
going
very
to look
soon.
more like that very soon.
That's why I'm like, what is this
man.
teasing?
So I was reading, I forgot what comic I was reading the other day. It was a big Avengers team up. It might have been Civil War 2, but I'm not sure. But it had like everybody in the same room. It had the Fantastic Four. Wolverine was there. Spider-Man was there. Thor was standing with them. The Thing was it was just like, these movies make me forget sometimes about the comic books where
Yeah.
like in the
All
comic
of these
books
characters.
they're all friends. Like they
Yeah.
all know each other. Like they all know each other personally
Yeah.
and it makes you forget that, but when you see that on paper and seeing it on screen right now, it makes me happy.
Oh
you
yeah.
know? Yeah. So
I just want to play.
I'm gonna
I'll
gonna
play
buy a
with you.
Switch.
I'll play with
Well, so it's cool. So you can play online, and because they have the Joy-Con controllers, you can hand one off to other people. You can do multiplayer. You can link up 4 and play like 4
That's
people.
tight.
I
together.
didn't realize how big the Switch was.
Oh, it's huge.
with the kiddos.
Yeah, it's huge.
With the kiddos.
kiddos.
Have you seen this house? This house is full
But
of them.
I know it's like, but I'm like, I didn't realize it was such a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want the control.
Yeah,
I
sure.
want the TV.
Right,
I
yeah.
want the big screen. I want all
Right.
that.
Well, I think the thing that's also very sort of enticing about the Nintendo Switch is the fact that you can dock it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can play just with the controllers
Yeah. Yeah.
on the TV.
on the TV, or it's like a big iPad too.
Exactly.
It's just
Yeah.
like you can play it there.
Yeah.
I think that's my thing because I don't really have time to play games at home, but when I'm
On the
traveling
go.
on the go, that's definitely what I
Yeah.
would do. You
Yeah.
know, and
Look,
this
if
game seems like
Yeah,
So-
if I'm on a 12-hour plane ride and I get to play this, I'm
Switch.
like, yeah.
So for Christmas, this year, you guys both want Switches.
Yes.
I mean, if you're offering
with your Booster Gold money, you buy me a
Oh,
Switch in this
yeah.
game.
can it be
Trust
Booster
me.
Gold themed?
Well, it wouldn't make like a Booster Gold.
I wanted like blue and gold.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Everybody out there, I'm not rich. I don't have that much money. If I did, though, I would spend my whole life just buying gifts for people.
I believe it.
Oh,
I believe it for sure.
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
So I like this trailer.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I like the Injustice trailer though. I didn't mean to
Oh,
switch.
oh, no.
love that
The
trailer.
last
Yeah.
last one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was great.
Yeah.
I know it's random.
No, the game was fun. We actually played it on this show.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah.
That was fun.
We did a whole episode where
Remember?
we just played Injustice 2.
Yeah.
And we just talked about stuff.
Yeah, we talked
It was
about
great.
stuff. We played the video game, and I ended up kicking everybody's ass.
You did,
Who'd
you
you
did.
play as?
Everybody. So
Yeah,
we were just
we
switching off.
rotated.
Okay.
We were rotating. It was because we were live streaming at that point, and we were just taking questions from the audience and just hanging
Yeah,
out. and
that's
having
awesome.
a
that was a
time.
good
It's
show.
good time. But I can't wait to play this game. I'm not sure when next year it's coming out, but
Yeah.
when it comes out, I'm gonna have to do some convincing. Let me get that Nintendo Switch. Pooch.
You're gonna convince your bank account or
Yeah.
Oh
what?
no, I'm
Convince
gonna convince
yourself?
someone. Mom, it's Christmas. Actually, my mom did ask me. She's like, "What do you want for your wish list?" I'm like, "I'm the worst person to shop for Christmas
Yeah.
because everything that I want is super expensive."
Yeah, that's how I am too.
It's like, I need a new
Well, that's
laptop.
how
I need a new
that's
camera.
how it is when you're older.
yeah,
yeah.
no,
'Cause
exactly.
when you're a kid, you're like, I'll take some Playmobiles.
Yeah.
$5.99. But now when you're older, it's like
I need
like
stuff
some,
that I need,
I'd
like,
like some
productive
Beats
with.
headphones.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
$350. Let me
I
get
need
an
a
Apple
70-inch plasma
Yeah.
or a 70-inch LED, please. Plasma.
Yeah.
That's like 10 years old.
Yeah.
know.
But also, I wouldn't be mad at like fresh socks and undies either.
I get it.
Right.
You know?
I don't consider those Christmas presents though.
I mean, they're
Those are like
stocking
stocking
stuffers.
stuffers.
It's
They're-
yeah.
But like, I ain't mad at that anymore.
Yeah.
Like
No,
as a kid,
same.
I would have been angry.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like,
Where's my Batman
cool.
action figure?
Cool.
Here's
I
some
hope,
socks.
I hope these are micromodal boxers. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
you
some,
know.
that's some REI speak.
No, that's MeUndies stuff. We need to get
Oh.
MeUndies here.
Do you have a pair?
I have one pair.
Just one?
Just one pair.
I know what to get you for Christmas. do you have them on right now?
No, no.
I got mine
Not
on.
right now. You want
Yeah.
me to show you? No, I usually get my stuff
What is
like
this
at
show turning
Ross.
into?
Whatever.
QVC.
QVC, yeah, I know, right?
Oh
We're
my
just
God.
trying to get advertisers.
That's right. Pooch.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming, man.
Dude, thank you. You already know this is the highlight of my week.
I believe it.
love being around you guys. You two
Yeah.
are two of my favorite people in the world. I almost said R.I.P. Hector.
R.I.P.
No,
Hector.
did not mean to say that at all. I miss you, Hector. I miss you.
Hector, you've been replaced. Sorry.
I don't mean to
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
I miss Hector.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
you guys.
keep your schedule cleared because if any more Infinity War or
Absolutely.
Endgame stuff drops, we're gonna have you along.
please.
I may still call that movie Infinity War Part 2.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
so used to it
Infinity War
now.
is just ingrained.
I
but
know, I know.
And
Yeah,
we're gonna
dude.
we're gonna see it.
It's fun times.
I'm gonna see. I want to go see it with you guys the first time.
Yeah,
you
we
see
have
it.
to.
Yes.
So that's the plan too.
We
so
are
we're
going to
gonna-
have to take you to the screening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
oh,
gonna.
okay.
I mean, if
Uh,
you get an invite, but yeah.
We will.
Yeah.
Let everybody know where they can find you on the internet.
You guys can find me at Part-Time Adult on Instagram. So there you go.
You're not doing the Twitter thing anymore, are you?
I've tried. It's just like I can't get down.
No,
like, having
that's the Instagram is where
I
Donnie
think
Ferrari
yeah,
lives.
I like to
Yeah.
live on.
That's where
Instagram.
Donnie Ferrari lives.
Yeah,
So
Donnie
yeah,
Ferrari,
that's good.
Toby, all
Yeah.
those guys. So
Toby.
he's
Haven't
gonna
seen
make-
Toby in a
He's
long
coming back
time.
too.
Really?
He's been knocking on my door. He's so angry.
I
right
know.
now. It's Christmas
His
time.
parents have been keeping him in his
Oh
room.
my God! It's Christmas time.
He
He's
did a
just-
seance and he went straight to hell and
Yeah.
he didn't want to come
he's
back.
coming- yeah.
Oh
But
my
he's back
God.
now.
Oh
They brought him
my
back.
God.
They
Satan
got
got
a-
tired of him.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
today.
Not
For
today.
real.
Yep.
For
Oh,
real.
Jesus.
So, but yeah.
Guys, in the meantime, let us know what you thought about everything that we talked about. Leave a bunch of comments. I know you guys guys will. You're probably going to tear us apart for some of the things that we said.
Whatever.
We're so used to it by now. It's totally fine. We're bulletproof. But let us know what you thought about everything that we talked about. What are you looking forward to? And we will catch you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.
Did you Nintendo Switch?
I just snapped it.